All right, the SAT has officially gone digital, and that means the reading and writing section has a totally new look and feel. But don't sweat it, because we are here to break it all down. Our whole goal today is to give you a clear, actionable game plan so you can walk in and absolutely crush this new format. So let's just get right into it. The test is shorter, yeah. The rules are a little different, for sure. But your goal, that's exactly the same, to get the best score you possibly can. Look, the key isn't just knowing the material anymore. It's about understanding the new game you're playing. And trust me, it's a game you can definitely win with the right strategy. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll hit the big picture changes to the digital SAT. Then we're going to decode the four core areas the test is built on. After that, we'll zoom way in on two key challenges, those tricky synthesis questions and the words and context section, before we wrap it all up with your final game plan. So, what is actually different about this test? Because the shift to digital, well, it's not just about taking it on a screen instead of on paper. It fundamentally changes how the test is structured and how you should pace yourself. Okay, the single biggest change is this. Those super long reading passages with a dozen questions, they're gone. Instead, you've got one combined reading and writing section with a bunch of really short passages, and each one has just a single question. This is a total game changer. It means you're constantly shifting gears, but the good news is you actually get more time, on average, for every single question. To really master this new format, you have to understand its blueprint. I mean, every single question in the reading and writing section is built to test one of four specific skill areas, or what the test makers call domains. Knowing these is like having a map of the entire test before you even start. And here they are. First, you've got information and ideas, which is basically about comprehension. Do you get what you just read? Then there's craft and structure, which is all about how the author is making their point. Expression of ideas is about making the writing better, clearer, more effective. And finally, standard English conventions, that's your classic grammar, punctuation, the whole shebang. Every question fits neatly into one of these boxes. Okay, let's make this super practical. We're going to dive deep and tackle one of the trickiest question types out there, which falls right under that expression of ideas domain, the rhetorical synthesis question. So these questions are a little weird. They give you a set of bullet points, kind of like a researcher's messy notes, and they ask you to combine them to achieve a very specific goal. The real challenge isn't the information itself, it's how you weave it all together. Now, here's what's so cool about this. The prompt itself gives you the exact mission. In this example, it's not just about listing facts about some projects. It's about emphasizing their shared, innovative nature. That right there, that's your target. So how do you beat it? You don't guess. You use a system. And listen, the most crucial part is step one. You have to analyze the question and know your goal before you even glance at the notes. Once you have that mission locked in, then you can scan the notes for the right info, double-check your objective, and just systematically go through each answer choice. Does it do exactly what the prompt asks for? The right answer will take every single box, no exceptions. All right, let's switch gears and jump to another key area. This one under the craft and structure domain. We're talking about vocabulary, or what the SAT calls words in context. And this is a massive source of anxiety for so many students. It's the classic question, right? Do you really have to spend months cramming thousands of obscure words from flashcards? Well, for the new digital SAT, the answer is a huge, resounding no. There is a much, much smarter way to do this. Seriously, forget about cramming. It's just not efficient. The new strategy is to become a word detective. Instead of trying to know every single word in the dictionary, you learn the skills to figure out the meaning of words you don't know right there in the moment. So how does a word detective actually operate? You've got two main tools. First, you break words down into their parts. Take a scary-looking word like verisimilitude. You might not know it, but veri. That sounds like verify, something to do with truth. And honestly, that's often enough of a clue. Your other secret weapon is the context, especially the transition words around the word. These transition words are your best friends. They're like giant road signs telling you where the sentence is going. If you see a word like however, you know a contrast is coming up. If you see therefore, you know it's all about cause and effect. These words aren't just filler. They are literal signposts that guide you to the meaning of the word you're looking for. Okay, so we've covered the new structure, we've decoded the four domains, and we've walked through strategies for two of the toughest question types. Let's pull this all together into your final, crystal clear game plan. All right, here it is, your game plan. If you remember anything from this, remember these four things. First, Know the blueprint. Those 4 domains are your map. Second, use a consistent system for the hard questions like synthesis. Third, be a word detective. Use context, not just memorization. And finally, you have to practice these specific skills with official materials. That's it. That's the strategic approach that works.
When you boil it all down, success on this test comes down to one thing: having a smart, strategic approach.
So there you have it. You have the blueprint. You have the strategies. You know how to master the reading and writing section. The only question left is, what's your first move?